Hello everyone, my name is Nayaswami Dharmini, and it's so nice to be here and especially see people that I haven't seen for 4 years, because we did go back to America for a while and then we're back. And for those of you working on this beautiful retreat in Pune, it's really a miracle. I know when the hard work of every day happens, it's hard to remember and see the big picture of the gorgeous beauty when you're worried about a roof leaking or, you know, the fan isn't working or something. But really what you've done here is a miracle. It really is. And everybody from India has a place to go where Master's vibration is permeating the land here. So thank you very much. And for me, about Swamiji's discipleship, I would say his most recent words around passing each and every thought to Master. He used to say, I offer up each thought, each action, each feeling to Master to get a feeling as to whether it's right or not, or whether it's something I should do. I have a conversation with him. By the end of his life, he was saying every feeling, every emotion, every action he had was Master's. And that in a nutshell is where I think we all want to be. We all want to be able to be channels in that way, perfect channels. What a transformation to have in one's life. But what he did was he showed us that we can start by just passing each thought, action, emotion, deed up to Master and ask. We can ask Swamiji. Now we can say, Swamiji, I want your thoughts to be mine. I want your emotions to be mine. I want your feelings, your actions, everything to be mine. Let me not do anything that you wouldn't do. Now, that sets a high mountaintop. And we also, though, need to be our natural selves. We need to be who we are and start from where we are. One of the qualities I wanted to talk about Swamiji is his kindness. And he practiced kindness not only in a way where it's politeness and good manners and even just being respectful of people. These are all part of kindness. Swamiji truly cared for each and every person, and he wanted to help and be with each and every person on some level, whether it was just vibrationally or personally, whatever way he could help people. He practiced kindness in a way that was so practical that I feel it was just a part of his being. And I've often felt, and we've all talked about, that he was born as a Jivan Mukta. And so that means this person has karma to work through, but is not creating new karma. So in a way, he's perfected many things. For instance, in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, all the yamas and the niyamas. And so for kindness, it's as though ahimsa has been perfected in his heart in order to practice perfect kindness. I'm often drawn to his story about when he was maybe about 11 years old, and he was at a boys' school, and a bully who was older than him and bigger than him was chasing him around. We've all heard this story, but it's so wonderful to contemplate. And this bully is chasing after him and saying, "I'm going to get you." Now, any normal kid would have fear in his heart and maybe want to hide and run to the teacher or whatever, or get angry back. But instead, you know, he was chased, he was pinned, he was punched, and he stayed calm the whole time. That's someone with ahimsa in their heart. That is someone who has kindness emanating out of them just naturally because it's been perfected. And so then this bully who kept punching started to see his own mirrored self in Swamiji. Without Swamiji reacting, that person just stopped. It wasn't fun, you know. He wasn't getting a reaction or anything. And then he went away, and he never bothered Swamiji again. Swamiji had that power to be a mirror to people. And when they misbehaved in front of him or whatever their state of consciousness was in front of him, it was magnified because he was like an amplifier for people's feelings. This kindness that radiated so strongly. I remember when I first met him, I was in the Palo Alto community, and I had just moved in maybe 2 months. This was a long time ago when Swamiji still lived in America only. He hadn't moved to Italy yet. And he was coming, I think he came for Easter or something like that. We had a big Easter celebration, and I was coming out of, I had written him an email just a few months before telling him how much I appreciated his music, that it touched me so deeply. I had played flute semi-professionally before, about 5 years before that, and dropped it because I didn't like the vibration of the competition of the music world. So I just stopped that. And so I was walking out of my apartment down a path, and then I looked up, and there was Swami walking down a path, and our paths met. And I said, Swamiji, thank you so much for the music that you've given us. And he said, are you the one who wrote me the email, months back? He said my name, and I was thinking, yes, wow, how did he know? But he knew these things. He knew on a deep level. He knows each one of us. Even if you haven't met him before, you've met him. And so he's there with you as well. So when I met him, he encouraged me to play flute more. In fact, had me play for him that evening. And I was just bowled over by the powerful vibrations that he emanated, especially his kindness, because music was important for me to cultivate even more and not just drop. And music opens the heart, and at the time I was an engineer and very much in my mind, and music was something I should have had as a spiritual practice still in my life, and that got rekindled. So that vibration of kindness was there. In fact, I slept 10 hours after I met him because my nervous system couldn't handle all that energy. Kindness does not necessarily mean sweetness, syrupy, just being polite on the outside. It's a quality. We can know whether we're practicing kindness correctly. If we have an expansive feeling, then we know we're practicing it correctly. If when we're practicing kindness and we have a contractive feeling, we know that's not true kindness. That's the kind of kindness where we have the smile on the face, but the red hot chili peppers inside. And so another way that Swami projected kindness was as the Guru, channeling the Guru. We had a concert once at the village, and there was a meeting before the concert about the music, and I was playing a flute piece, and we were all asking him questions, and at the time, again, I was still my little engineering analytical mind at the time, and he had said something about this piece. It's called Krishna's Flute. You might have heard it before. And I was trying to get the notes correct. And so I was saying, now, is the rhythm this way or is the rhythm that way? And it was basically a head talking without a heart or any other parts. Just a head, a mental, analytical thing talking at him. And he just looked at me and said, "You do as I say." And at the time, I was just bowled over again, this time in like a not too happy way. But I had already felt a faith and a trust in him that what came from him was something I needed to look at, no matter what it was, whether it was comfortable or uncomfortable. And so I had only had the experience before of when someone spoke strongly to me that it was out of anger. I had only had that experience before, and so the experience of someone talking to me out of anger, I would get upset. So I knew I needed to meditate on this, and we had a break between rehearsal and the concert. So I meditated on what's going on here, Swamiji. Now, certainly what it did was it knocked me out of my head and got me into my heart. Even if the heart was going like this, I was no longer just a talking head. So that was good, and that was a good lesson in itself. But I wanted to go deeper with that lesson, and so I meditated on that even more, just to find out what's going on here, what's my lesson here, what do I need to learn about this. And I felt overwhelmed with love. I got to experience that the Guru, though he gives us a hard knock, does it enveloped in love and kindness. And so I could feel Swamiji's kindness permeating that disciplinary action. And of course, I was just so grateful. I received many of those disciplinary actions, and I greatly needed them over the time. Now, it's a bit more obvious when the Guru gives us a direct action like that. It's a little less obvious when it's the world, when it's our circumstances, when friends betray us, when we lose jobs, when these things come. Those also are the lessons of the Guru, and they are also enveloped in love and kindness. And so we need to learn to see these things, as Ananda was talking about, seeing the world as a dream, as Maya. You know, these lessons are here for us to learn. When Swamiji was being beaten up, he didn't take it personally. He didn't say, oh, this guy is mad at me and I must have done this or that. It was like, that man has anger. Anger lives in that man. It was a very impersonal way of looking at that. And so we may look at Swamiji's kindness and say, oh my God, it's way up there. You know, it's right here at the mountaintop. How can I ever get there? And he showed us, though. He talked about kindness all the time, practicing kindness in community, assuming that people are coming from the best that they can do, assuming that we don't necessarily know the big picture of what's going on with another person when we think they're misbehaving. Swamiji wrote an article called Kindness in Truthfulness. And in that article, he says that, of course, the most important truthfulness is self-truthfulness. But this kindness and truthfulness is about seeing the big picture view, that we don't have to say, that person really needs to hear this, and I'm going to just tell them. Because if I tell them, then they'll change their behavior, and then I won't feel uncomfortable anymore. So we go ahead and we say that truth. Well, what happens to the heart? The heart feels pinched. This is our biggest clue, that when we've done something out of unkindness, our heart pinches. Okay, we've made a mistake, the heart pinched. We can know better next time. Watch the heart. And from all other places, if we watch the heart, if we watch how the heart is feeling, is it expansive, is it contractive, then we'll know we're on the right path towards kindness. And I'm just so grateful you all are here, and that we all get to celebrate the love and kindness of Swamiji together. God bless you.